Hi, my name's David Minto and I'm a purple belt under Steve Campbell at Stealth BJJ. I'm an assistant instructor and I'm going to show you a short instructional on side control attacks for thewarriorcollective.com. So initially, when I've gained side control, for myself, I'm looking for, have I trapped the near side arm? Because that will dictate a lot of the attacks that I'm going to do. If I have trapped the near side arm, I'll stay on my knees. If I haven't, and the arm's inside, then myself, I tend to keep my weight back and to stay heavy on Jake. For this particular attack, we're going to say I've trapped the near side arm. So I will grab either under the armpit or on the far shoulder, get a good bite into Jake's gi and pull him into me so I've got a nice tight crossface. I also pull him in to make sure I keep the arm trapped initially while I'm attacking Jake. I keep my head down, and what I actually like to do is to pull his far side lapel out. Now what Jake does, how he defends, will dictate how I'm going to attack him. So in this instance, he's staying quite passive, he's bridged, he's tried to escape, he's realised he can't. So I'll pass the far lapel to the other arm. If at any time Jake escapes his near side arm and puts it in between my body or tries to escape, I'm actually going to reach down and I'm going to grab his sleeve. I always like to grab the sleeve and then I'm going to lock it down right next to his hip so he can't move. At the same time, I'm going to move my head close to Jake's hips and I'm going to move all the way around to the other side here. Now already this is choking Jake because it's cutting his carotid artery off. To finish the submission, I bring my spare hand down and grab onto the same lapel, and then I'm quite simply going to walk back round to north-south, pulling at the same time. Very, very tight choke, something to be very careful of if you're doing it on your training partners. If, while we're here, Jake doesn't escape that arm, but with this arm, he's pushing into my arm, into my throat, really trying to bridge me off. Again, keeping the bite, I'll push down onto Jake's forearm with my throat. It is very uncomfortable initially. With the same lapel, I'll push down with my throat and then I'll come over. I always make sure the lapel traps Jake's wrist. So if he's pushing on me, I'll push down, come over and trap his wrist. I pull the lapel down to the floor, then pass it to my other arm. And then using two arms, I'll just keep dragging it, 2 against 1, until Jake's wrist actually touches the floor. Then my hand that's round his head will come onto his wrist. I'll pass my elbow round and push Jake's head away from his wrist. Then lock my arms up together, and then I'll just lift for the tap. And that's my two-pronged attack. So just to reiterate, if Jake brings his arms inside when I've passed the lapel, I'll trap this arm, head to the hips, all the way around, keeping that arm trapped, back onto the same lapel, and I'll come back down to north south, pulling with my elbows. If Jake keeps his arm in my throat, really pushing, I'll push down, come over his wrist and trap it, 2 on 1, pushing it down to the floor, trap the wrist, bring my elbow round, push his head back onto my legs, and then finish him with the American. Those are my two techniques that are favourites of mine from side control. For more information on the club where I train, stealthbjj.com. And for any more instructionals, look at warriorcollective.com or look on the YouTube page. Thank you.